Welcome back on this. Look at all the boys leaving. It'll be quiet in here, Jan. Yay. Finally, yay. This Tuesday morning, 51 degrees out there. Feels nice. You know what? This is the last day of summer. Even though it feels like summer's left a little bit earlier already. It's already gone. But high temperatures today, 86, 57 for that low. Full sunshine. Get out and enjoy. Really no rain to talk about. There's like a 10% chance. Really not going to see any rain. Possibly until Saturday, 82 and rain chances. A little too soon to tell, though. We'll tell you more tomorrow. All right, Dr. White, what is your topic?
Yes, my topic, I don't think I've ever covered this before. The topic is food deserts. And this is primarily for older adults. So this entire issue, this is a scholarly journal for aging experts, and it's Aging Today. This entire issue was devoted to food issues affecting older adults. It's a very serious problem. So what is a food desert? Believe it or not, there is a definition of food desert. So a food desert, yes, a food desert is a geographical area where there is either no grocery store or very few stores where food can be purchased. And combine this with people who have limited transportation. So imagine that you're living in a town and you're in an apartment, you have no vehicle, and there's no grocery store in your area. So how are you going to get food? This is why this topic is important. This is a food desert. It's like you're in a barren area where you don't have access to food.
Google.
Yes, you can Google it. It's really interesting.
No, I mean, also Amazon.com now, they deliver groceries and stuff, so.
They do, but they
probably don't have that access.
It's more complex than that because a lot of older adults are living below the poverty threshold or they're living on a very limited income. So the USDA estimates that about 9% or 2.9 million Americans, older adults, have food insecurity. That's another word for this food desert issue. So I found out that 7% of people who come to food pantries and soup kitchens are older adults. Now, you know, when I was in San Francisco feeding the homeless with Sam, I was amazed to see as many older adults. They were right there in that line getting their...
Sad.
It was very sad. It was. So here are some of the issues. Here's why this is important. So the older adults have no transportation or limited transportation. They have no grocery store within a mile or two. They have low income, so they can't get fresh fruits and vegetables. So a lot of times they're limited to things like buying the large packages of hot dogs and big supplies of soup, which are loaded with sodium. And they have nutrition illiteracy. So, you know, they have food labels, but a lot of people don't understand those. You know, so why are we concerned about this? Because we want to keep older adults healthy. We don't want...
There's going to be a lot of baby boomers.
Oh, yes. We don't want people institutionalized. We want people to remain in their homes, but we want them to be eating the right food. So there's 3 impacts of food deserts on older adults. Number 1 is emotional health. Now, people want to eat familiar food. So soul food, Mexican food, Chinese food. And I know when my mother was in assisted living, all she wanted was apple pandowdy because that was something that brought back fond memories of her childhood.
Remembered that. Oh.
Yes. And so the chef there at the facility made sure that my mother got her apple pandowdy. And I'm telling you, that made her so happy. That was good for her emotional health.
Great.
Now, it also affects cognitive functioning because if you're not eating the right foods, if you're filling up on hot dogs and soup from the dollar store, your brain cannot function. You need to have nutrients.
And we've talked about that. Don't eat so many hot dogs. They're so bad for you.
I know, but if you're living in a food desert, you know, then that may be your only option. Of course, a food desert will affect your overall health because, you know, these packaged prepared foods and canned foods are full of sugar, they're full of salt. So
all the bad stuff.
Yes, so this is a big concern. Now, the University of Kentucky did a study and they found out that with regard to people who live in these food deserts, 60% of older adults are more likely to suffer from depression. Well, I can understand that.
Yeah.
You know, you want to get the groceries, but you can't. 53% are more likely to have a heart attack.
Ooh.
So that makes sense if you're not eating correctly. 40% are more likely to experience congestive heart failure. So all of this really makes sense. So I found out that we do have some nutrition centers here in Limestone County.
Cool.
And if you go on the website for the Council of Aging for Limestone County, you can click on their newsletter and you can find out where these nutrition centers are.
Oh, great.
So if you need to have a hot meal and you want to find out more about eating right, and if you live in one of these food deserts, I suggest going on this site and checking it out, because we want older adults to be healthy.
If you're watching this morning and you don't have access to internet, and just call us, 603-4848,
or call me.
and we'll get you in touch with Jan, and she'll give you a list of where you can get that help.
Right.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank you, Jan.
You're welcome.
Gotta eat the best you can.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, people struggle. It just amazes me how many children, when they leave school, they don't have meals.
I know
now
it.
Older adults, too.
I know it.
Keep your eyes open for your neighbors, everyone. 603-4848. If you don't have access to internet and need to find out where that list is, or who's on that list, let us know. We'll get back in touch with you and give you all that info. Thank you, Dr.
You're
Jan
welcome.
White. Good stuff. All right, going to take a quick break. It sure was nice and quiet in here.
Yeah, I know it.
That's about to change. Stay with us.